The phone rings at 2:17 a.m., a shrill sound that slices through the silence of the Central Bureau of Investigation's makeshift war room, and on the other end is a voice that offers no greeting, only a stark, terrifying countdown. You have 48 hours. The money will be gone by then. This isn't a scene from a thriller. This is the reality right now. A ticking clock that is threatening to unravel not just a single investigation, but the very fabric of trust in a multi-billion-dollar financial enigma that has captivated millions of investors across the globe. We are going inside, deep inside, a race against time that connects a high-stakes CBI probe directly to the volatile future of the Iraqi dinar. And what you are about to learn will fundamentally alter your perception of risk, reward, and the shadowy intersection of global finance and desperate hope. Imagine the pressure, the sheer weight of every passing second, as a dedicated team of India's finest financial forensic minds sifts through terabytes of encrypted data, not just looking for a criminal, but chasing the ghost of a transaction that could signal a catastrophic collapse or an unprecedented opportunity for those who have poured their life savings into the promise of a dinar revaluation. The stakes are astronomically high because this isn't just about one bank fraud or one corrupt official. This is about a network, a sophisticated web of transactions that allegedly uses the speculative frenzy around the Iraqi dinar as a perfect smokescreen to move staggering amounts of untraceable capital across borders. Capital that could be funding anything from geopolitical instability to corporate espionage. And the CBI has just one lead, one fragile thread that they must follow, into the labyrinth before the clock hits zero. This is the story you won't see on the mainstream news, the raw, unfiltered truth behind the headlines. And we have pieced it together through exclusive sources and a forensic analysis of patterns that have, until this moment, remained hidden in plain sight. The initial hook was a seemingly minor discrepancy in a forex trading ledger in a private bank in Mumbai, a decimal point out of place, a transaction involving IQD that didn't match the corresponding international SWIFT message. But for the sharp-eyed analyst who spotted it, it was the first loose thread in a sweater that, when pulled, threatened to unravel a global scheme. Why would the CBI, India's premier investigative agency, care so deeply about the Iraqi dinar? The answer is as shocking as it is simple. They believe that the constant stream of so-called intel from gurus like Marxi and Pimpy, the endless, hopeful news about an imminent revaluation, is being artificially engineered and amplified not just to sell dreams, but to create a predictable, emotional, and highly manipulable market of millions of people, a crowd whose collective actions, buying, selling, transferring money, create the perfect noise for a symphony of financial crime. This 48-hour deadline given to the CBI is tied to a specific predicted economic event, a fluctuation in the USD to IQD exchange rate that is being touted in certain circles as the big one. And the investigators now suspect this is not a prediction at all, but a signal, a coordinated trigger for the final massive movement of funds that will leave countless dinar investors holding worthless currency in a digitally evaporated account while the architects of this scheme disappear into a new identity and a life of unimaginable luxury. The pressure in that war room is palpable. You can almost taste the caffeine and adrenaline as they cross-reference phone records of known intel promoters with shell company registrations in offshore havens. They are mapping a digital footprint that spans from the forums where dinar hopes are kept alive to the servers of banks in Zurich and Dubai. And with every passing hour, the map becomes clearer and the danger becomes more profound. They are not just fighting time, they are fighting a hydra-headed monster of misinformation, where for every fake guru they identify, 2 more pop up, where for every bank account they freeze, 3 new ones are activated, all funded by the very people who believe they are on the cusp of immense wealth. This is a silent war being waged in the digital shadows, and your investment, your future, is the battleground. The first 12 hours have passed. The team has identified a key figure, a money mule, who operates not in the dark web, but openly. On social media, a charismatic voice in the Dinar community who has been subtly directing followers to specific exchange platforms at specific times. Platforms that our sources confirm are under scrutiny for massive layering of transactions. The CBI now believes this is the key, that this individual is the direct link between the hopeful world of RV news and the cold, hard reality of international money laundering, and they are moving in, but the clock is still ticking, louder and more menacing than ever before. The breakthrough comes not from a wiretap or a digital footprint, but from a whisper in a crowded Delhi market, a coded phrase passed between two men that translates to a single, terrifying reality. The RV is the signal for the great disappearance. This phrase, intercepted by a CBI field agent posing as a currency trader, confirms the team's worst-case scenario, the long-awaited dinar revaluation, the very event millions are praying for, is not a financial miracle, but a meticulously engineered criminal exit strategy, a red flare that will trigger the simultaneous liquidation of a global network of fraudulent investment platforms, wiping out the life savings of countless individuals in the blink of an eye. The agent, his heart pounding against his ribs, maintains his cover, negotiating for a larger stake of the soon-to-be revalued currency, while his hidden transmitter captures every damning word, revealing that the clock isn't just ticking for the investigators. It's ticking for every single person who has ever invested in the Iraqi dinar based on the promises of online gurus. Back in the war room, this intelligence is a seismic shock. It recontextualizes everything they have gathered, turning their pursuit from a complex financial investigation into a desperate rescue mission for the financial well-being of thousands of citizens. The digital maps on their screens now light up with alarming new connections, drawing lines from the social media accounts of prominent dinar commentators directly to the servers of unregulated forex platforms that have been artificially inflating their liquidity by showing fake IQD holdings, creating a house of cards built on the foundation of collective hope and now poised for a collapse that will make history. The CBI now understands the cruel genius of the scheme. The constant drip feed of optimistic news from sources like Mark Z and Pimpy isn't just for engagement. It's a psychological operation designed to create a state of perpetual anticipation, a willing suspension of disbelief that prevents investors from asking the hard questions about where their money is actually going when they buy dinar through these specific recommended portals. The money isn't being used to purchase physical currency held in a vault. It's being funneled into a digital Ponzi scheme, where early investors are paid returns from the deposits of new investors, all while the architects amass a war chest of real liquid capital in dollars and euros, ready to be pulled out the moment the RV is announced, leaving the system to implode. With only 30 hours left, the team initiates Phase 2 of their operation, a high-stakes cyber maneuver to infiltrate the command and control server of this network, located in a nondescript office building in Eastern Europe, a server that controls the digital levers of the entire operation. As their cyber unit works, the pressure is unimaginable. One wrong digital step could alert the entire network, causing them to initiate their disappearance protocol prematurely and vanish without a trace along with the money. Meanwhile, the intelligence from the field agent leads them to a key figure in Mumbai, a seemingly respectable financial advisor who runs a popular YouTube channel dedicated to dinar wealth building, a man who has been personally responsible for channeling over $20 million of investor funds into the fraudulent system, all while presenting himself as a beacon of trust and information. The CBI now has a critical decision to make. Do they move in and arrest him, potentially spooking the higher-ups in the network, or do they surveil him, hoping he will lead them to the even bigger players, the shadowy architects who have remained, faceless and untouchable until now? They choose surveillance, a nerve-wracking game of cat and mouse through the bustling streets of Mumbai, trusting that their cyber team can buy them the time they need to get to the very top. The agent in Delhi makes another buy, a substantial one, and is given a specific time and digital wallet address for the post-RV asset transfer, a piece of information that is immediately relayed to the war room. This is the first concrete timestamp they have for the final act. The clock is still ticking, but now they have a target, a name, a face, and a digital trail that is growing warmer by the minute. Yet the scale of the impending disaster looms larger than ever, a financial avalanche waiting for one final triggering event that the criminals are branding as a global monetary miracle. The team works on, fueled by the knowledge that they are no longer just solving a crime. They are in a race to prevent a tragedy of international proportions, a heist of hope itself, and the next move they make will determine everything. The final hour arrives not with a siren's wail, but with a silent, chilling notification on a secure server. The command "RV confirmed, initiate sunset" has been issued, and in that moment, inside the CBI war room, a cold dread settles over the team. They have lost the race. The signal, a forged news alert mimicking a major international financial authority announcing the Iraqi Dinar's revaluation, is now propagating through encrypted channels to every guru, every social media influencer, and every fraudulent platform in the network, triggering the automated scripts that will begin systematically liquidating accounts and funneling the last of the billions into untraceable cryptocurrency wallets. This is the great disappearance, and it is happening in real time. But what the architects of this scheme do not know is that the CBI's cyber unit, in a desperate last-ditch effort hours earlier, managed to embed a Trojan horse within their system, not to stop the inevitable, but to trace the final destination of the funds. A digital breadcrumb leading to the true masterminds, as celebratory messages from dinar gurus flood the internet, congratulating their followers on their newfound wealth. A silent, digital predator is following the money across the globe, from servers in Moldova to a shell corporation in the Cayman Islands, and finally, to a single physical location, a high-security data center in Dubai. The CBI, in a coordinated international operation with Interpol and UAE authorities, now has its target, and the nature of the mission shifts instantly from prevention to capture and recovery. The team mobilizes for the most critical phase of the entire 48-hour ordeal: a simultaneous raid on the data center in Dubai and the arrest of the Mumbai-based YouTube financier who is caught live on his computer attempting to delete evidence while still recording a video telling his subscribers to remain calm and wait for their banking instructions. The scale of the deception is now laid bare. The revaluation was nothing but a cleverly crafted piece of digital propaganda, a fabricated financial event designed to create the perfect cover for history's most sophisticated digital heist, one that preyed upon the hopes of an entire community. The money trail reveals the breathtaking audacity of the plan. The billions stolen were not just sitting in accounts. They were being used in real time to short major currencies, leveraging the artificial market volatility the RV news would create to double their illicit gains. A move of such staggering risk and brilliance that it borders on financial terrorism. As the authorities secure the Dubai data center, they find not a team of hardened criminals, but a suite of powerful servers running complex AI algorithms designed to manage the entire ecosystem of the fraud, from generating fake financial news to autonomously executing the complex series of trades and transfers, with only a handful of technicians needed to maintain the hardware. The real masterminds, the three individuals who conceived this entire operation, are apprehended at a private airfield in Dubai, moments before boarding a jet with no extradition treaty. Their luggage filled with gold bars and encrypted hard drives containing the keys to the cryptocurrency wallets holding the stolen funds. The 48-hour race is over. The CBI, against impossible odds, has prevented the complete collapse of the scheme's architecture and has identified and captured its creators. But the aftermath is a landscape of financial and emotional ruin for the thousands of investors who saw their dreams evaporate in an instant. The hard, painful truth that now must be confronted is that the entire ecosystem of constant, optimistic intel, the daily updates from gurus, the speculative charts, and the community of hope, was, from its very core, an orchestrated lie designed to cultivate a specific psychological state of vulnerability and trust. which was then exploited with surgical precision. The RV was never coming. It was always a weapon, a trigger for theft, and the real value of the dinar remains exactly where it has always been, tied to the political and economic realities of Iraq, not to the promises of online profits. This operation has exposed a terrifying new frontier in financial crime, where misinformation is the primary weapon and hope is the most valuable commodity to be stolen. A frontier where there are no safe havens, only informed decisions and a critical, questioning mind that can separate fact from a beautifully crafted, financially devastating fiction. The story ends not with a celebration, but with a solemn warning and a crucial call to action that every single person watching this must hear and heed for their own financial security.